Hi, welcome to Traders Chat. I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm sitting down today with John's Charts. That's his name in the Chart Guys community. And I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of Chart Guys. We teach technical analysis. So I asked John to sit down with me for a member spotlight. He's one of our leaders in Chart Guys. He has amazing setups, and I copy him all the time for pregame. I try to give him credit when I don't steal his setups. I just copy you, John. Thank you for sitting down with me to talk.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here, to discuss trading and the ins and outs and, something we both have a lot of passion for. So I'm excited.
Absolutely. So, how did you get into trading?
So this is the common answer, it seems, but fall of 2017, I got invested in crypto, hoping to, catch that boom. And I rode that emotional roller coaster of fall 2017 into winter of 2018. And that was my first initial exposure into the markets.
Mm-hmm. And I bet that was fun. That's an expensive tuition, huh? Crypto, starting out with trading in a crazy bull market that was even more than a roller coaster. It just the roller coaster that never stopped going down for a couple of years.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was an expensive tuition. But what drew me into sticking with learning and getting more involved with the markets was I saw the potential. So you're right, it was wild and crazy, but there was also a lot of price movement. And that's what I saw, which really drew me in because I saw the possibility of what could be. I would sit there with my calculator and I'd be like, wow, if I had this many coins or this many shares and I caught this amount of the move, then I could make X. So the possibility really drew me in. And then it was just trying to convert that possibility into opportunity. And there's a lot of great resources out there. I would say, it can be overwhelming at times, but joining up with the Chart Guys, it dramatically helped me just because everything is so condensed and it's so, easy to follow and learn. And the possibility got me there, and then I was like, I just need to convert all these trades I see into real opportunities for myself. So, how do I get there?
And I've gotten to know you over the years. It seems like trading fits well with your personality. You seem like a methodical person, and I may be projecting, but it seems like it fits well with you, and I think that's part of why you're so successful.
Yeah, no, I am very methodical, so that's good. You picked up on that, even though I've never met you in person.
Yep.
So,
I saw you
so
on an
that is,
exercise, a community exercise video. I saw you, but yeah, I've never met you.
yeah. So that's good that you picked up on that. I'm a very 1, 2, 3 kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep it very simple, and I'd say trading came into my life at the right time too. I had a lot of time on my hands, and I basically locked myself in my studio apartment for about 8 months just to get my feet under me with technical analysis because it is a lot. And yeah, my personality, I would say, is a good fit.
And I think that one thing we do well as a community is we don't promote this as easy money, like a fast. There's nothing easy about this. It's simple. It can be simple, but it's not easy. So I know a lot of traders that are watching this are struggling. So I know you probably had your down moments, i.e. 2017 crypto. How many times did you think about quitting?
That's a good question. So I would say there wasn't a definitive moment where I was going to throw in the towel. Um, Personally, when I start something, whether it's, video game, board game, cutting the grass, I like to finish it and succeed at it. It doesn't always happen. So I wouldn't say there was a moment where I said I need to quit. There was a lot of doubt and a lot of questioning,
Mm-hmm.
but I never wanted to quit. I did 2 years of college. I never finished. So I looked at my first 2 years of learning technical analysis as really my final 2 years of college. Towards working towards a real career that I could make money at. So every time I had a big mistake or, a huge drawdown in my account, the learning curve with trading has been huge.
Right.
So every time there was a negative moment, there was also another positive moment where I could switch up my style or take something away or add to my trading that really kept me going, over the years
Right. So
versus,
you're not a quitter. I can definitely tell that you're not a quitter. We all have low moments trading. Even now, I mean, I'm having a good career, but there's low moments. There's moments where it's just not, and as Dan calls it, you're not in flow state. So I get that. So what would you say is the most important trait a trader should have?
that's tough. There, there's a lot of options to pick. There's kind of two things that I would focus in on, and I'm trying not to give obvious answers because I want to give something that, is a little different.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so one of them isn't really a trait. It's more of a personality thing towards trading. I would say passion is really essential. Anything that anyone does in life, if you have passion, it's going to be a lot easier.
Yeah.
And trading requires a lot of time and a lot of learning and a lot of brain training. So if you don't have passion for trading, it's going to be so much harder. If you're just thinking about money, then it's going to make it a lot more difficult. So I would say, passion, because every day you need to review. It needs to be, performing TA and prep work every single day. So passion is key. And then the second thing I have would be, call it agility.
I like it.
So agility, because the market is constantly changing. What worked today might not work tomorrow, and what worked 3 weeks ago might not work a month from now. So having the agility to adjust with the market as it moves, and it
Yeah.
moves every single day and changes. So agility, I would say, is really crucial to being successful, because if someone stays stagnant and just thinks that their bread and butter is always going to be there, it can get rough, especially if you haven't traded a bull and bear market.
Yeah. And the willingness to accept that you will never know it all. And I love to show up every day. It's like, what am I going to learn today? And I love that. Some people don't like that. I was in one layer of my job before this. It was a healthcare. I was a certified coder, and coding has a book about this thick, but once you learn it and you know how to use the book, that's it, you're done. And I didn't like that. I just felt like I had a ceiling over my head with learning. And that's probably one thing a trader needs to be willing to do, is just step out there and learn. Talk about brain drain, learn every single day.
Yeah, and there's just so much information, and it can just be overwhelming for someone that is new. But hey, yeah, it's just getting out there and doing it. If someone has desire to really do something, you can do it. It's just putting in the time.
And I feel like we do a good job at Chart Guys, kind of helping people find their niche. We don't try to cram every square peg in a square hole, because we know everybody's different. Your TA style, like, it's going, whatever resonates with you, that's what will work. So we do try to help people find their niche. I'm an options trader, and there's not a lot of options traders in the room. By the way, what do you trade mostly?
It's good, and yeah, I do like that about TCG, is there's a lot of different avenues you can go. It's not just, hey, you need to be a scalper,
Right.
Which is what I am. So my style is scalping. I'm really a momentum based breakout or breakdown trader. My goal is really to catch 20 to 50 cent moves and have decent share size. So a lot of my trades are based off longer term time frames, and the trade you're pulling up now wasn't, but a lot of my trades that I scalp are based off either the daily or weekly resistance and support, and those areas really provide me a lot of price movement because they're longer term time frames.
Right.
So even though I'm scalping, the 2 or the 5 minute chart, the daily and weekly levels are really what I'm looking at to grab my 20 to 50 cents.
And on this call, it's pretty funny. I'm using this as an example. I'm driving today, folks. So, but on BlackBerry the other day, John called out this trade looking for the hourly lower high, and I don't even think he took it. And I'm like, thank you, John. Paid for Mama's new shoes this week. But I took
yeah,
this trade.
so it's well, Bed Bath and is it Bed Bath Beyond? Yeah, Bed Bath and Beyond. I think it had earnings.
Yep.
It must have.
Yep.
Huge dump, and saw the hourly was bouncing, and this is just such a great trade to take because this is one where it stands out to you. It's what are we looking for, and the most likely scenario, without a doubt, is we're gonna get an hourly lower high compared to, I'm not sure where we dump from, but we dump, I think, from the 20s. So
right. And we were also looking at this little higher highs with very little follow through, which we know is typically, I'm drawing this really fast. Okay, this is terrible drawing. I need to be fired from drawing. So basically we had a rising wedge. It looked like a bear flag on the hourly. So we were watching these tiny little higher highs, and I shorted this wick here after you called it out. But I like when you call out, because these are obvious ones. It doesn't mean it's going to keep working, but that was just one of those obvious trades. So this is a type of trade you like to take where you'll scalp 50 cents and then take it off.
Exactly. Yeah. And I kick myself sometimes because the obvious trades are the ones you should take.
Right.
So yeah, that's exactly what I like. It should jump out at the page at you as hey, you should take this trade.
Yeah, and you don't swing though ever. Not yet.
Rarely. I've held 2 positions overnight before, so not that often.
Do what works for you. What is your edge?
Yeah. I would say. So I know edge can be defined as a kind of a trading style. My edge, for me, is my preparedness. I'm just a little tiny minnow swimming around, and I'm in a big pond, or we'll call it ocean because there's sharks.
Yep, for sure, sharks.
Yeah, so I'm going up against some of the smartest, richest people in the world, most successful, and not only that, going up against computers. So
right.
My edge would be my preparedness. I prepare very thoroughly, and I feel like as long as I'm prepared, it gives me an edge, and it allows me to trade many different stocks, many different sectors, a lot of different setups. I could trade a bigger cap or smaller cap, and I can go long or I can go short. It's, my style is adjustable to a lot of different conditions. And I credit all that to preparedness. If I wasn't prepared for the day, I usually don't trade.
That's a big statement. And if I may divulge this, if not, we'll cut it out. But you were sick earlier this year and you're like, no trading.
Exactly. Yeah. The only time I took time off this year was no trading when I was sick. Exactly.
Right. What is your workflow? I was just looking over in chat. I wasn't ignoring you. I was looking in chat to see if I could pull up one of your notes section. I can't pull it up quickly, but I wanted to show people what you post in the room almost every day, the setups you're watching for the next day, and it gives people time. They can pull up their charts, mark them up, and see if it's something they like. But what's your workflow?
Yeah, exactly. So that's a big part of it, is doing those notes every single day. I would say I am extremely routined. So I on Sundays is weekly prep, so I kind of get bigger picture and get a feel for heading into the week. But daily prep would be, I usually go, this sounds like a lot. I go through about 100 to 120 tickers every single day.
It doesn't seem,
but
that's the methodicalness. That's what it takes to be a consistently profitable trader. So complete admiration and respect.
Yeah, exactly. And as I've gotten better at performing TA and recognizing setups, it's gotten so much faster. To me, the best setups should jump right out at the page at someone staring,
I lost
at
you.
100
Oh, there, gotcha.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
To me, if I'm scanning through 100 tickers, the best setups are going to jump out at me instantly within 10 to 15 seconds. And if it doesn't, it's probably not there. So that really gives me, a lot to go on. I generally mark down about 10 to 12 names. I know sometimes that notes in the general chat can be longer, but I do 10 to 12 names, and then I have a split between bearish plays and bullish plays. So that gives me kind of a lot to go on for the next day. And then when I wake up in the morning, it's walk first and get coffee and
Get your
breakfast.
mind
I don't,
straight.
yes, yeah, that's important. So I don't just wake up and roll onto the computer. It's hard. Yeah, I like to make sure my brain is kind of in gear. And once I do that, log into the chat room, log into TCG, see what's posted on the whiteboard and kind of get a feel for, the sentiment. And then I will take those 10 to 12 triggers I marked down yesterday and kind of chop that in half on each side. So I'll take 2 to 3 names bearish, 2 to 3 names bullish.
And you also use that pre-market volume too to help.
I do, yeah. When you don't post that, it hurts me because I don't use Thinkorswim that often. So it's a huge help when you do post that. So I will have those 2 to 3 setups that I have for TA, bullish and bearish, and then I'll, like you just mentioned, the pre-market scan is huge. So the last few months, I've really tried to work on adding a stock in play. Mm-hmm. So that can be a stock with fresh news, it's gapping up or down, and has volume.
Yeah, some type of catalyst.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the grand slam, I call it, is fresh news, gap, volume, and a TA setup with it.
And the cherry on top, high short float.
Yeah, oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, add that to our list. That is the dream scenario.
Absolutely. Yeah. So my workflow, it's same routine every day. Just I repeat that Monday through Friday. And as long as I have those setups heading into the day, bullish and bearish, I feel really good just because the market can move whichever way it wants. I feel that I'm, ready for it.
I love that. What are your top tips for new traders?
Top tips, let's see. I would say don't underestimate learning the psychology behind trading, and don't underestimate learning the psychology behind the market. I am speaking from firsthand.
Yes.
I became a very good analyst, very good at performing TA and recognizing great setups, and I would post them in the chat. I would call them out. I would trade them, and my execution and sticking with the psychology, sticking to my stop and sticking to the bigger picture of the trade would hurt me. I would not trade. I would have these amazing setups and I would trade them horribly. Right. And I'm calling them out in the room and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I'm not even making, what I should be on these. So a big tip would be to understand the psychology behind trading, because going back and relearning that after, being so stuck on TA for a while, it was hard because
And if I could dovetail, you started recording your trading too, and that helped you keep winners longer. Yeah. I think that's something that propelled you forward.
Yeah, if you have the opportunity to record your trading live and talk as you're doing it, it's massive. It's the equivalent of a football coach, sitting down on Monday morning and watching the game film from Sunday and then making all the adjustments heading into the next week. And I had him recording because I was trading off not the best laptop, and it couldn't handle both of that. But once I was able to do that and go back, even on my green days when I make money, there's so many mistakes that I have noticed that I've adjusted, and it has helped my consistency dramatically.
Do you know I've never recorded a trade, but I think I may do that. That's interesting because of course I have things I need to work on every single day, so I may have to do that. What is your number one rule in trading that you would never break?
That's hard. There's a lot of rules. It's a long list of rules.
No, you can give me more than one if you want.
Yeah, it's the number one, because it is the most expensive one, is do not short a short squeeze.
Yes, that's because they can go up infinitely. Like I am good at stop losses, but I'm militant about my short stop losses when I'm shorting commons because it's infinite loss. Like I can't deal with that. I will double check a long. I will triple check a short. So I am with you on that.
Yeah, so that is my number one, just because my biggest red days have come from that. And I should preface it with don't short a fresh short squeeze, because there is an opportunity at some point
At the
to
vol
be able
climax, yes, when they start climax, we know the volume climax and different tails that we can see in wicks, upper wicks. But I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, no worries. You're absolutely right. And the chart guys, it's so great at recognizing something like that.
Yeah.
Because recognizing a volume climax is not something that is very easy. It takes a lot of time, and the right people pointing it out that this is it. So I would say shorting a short squeeze is up there for me. Like I said, my biggest losses have come from that, and like you said, there is a point to do it, but just recognizing when.
Right, and then when scales are tipping, and a lot of people don't teach that. Dan, that's one of his number one edges: oversold bounces and recognizing that. What is your most memorable trade ever?
There's a lot of them, but this one is a trade that I took a few years ago and didn't make a lot of money on it. It was a day where I still work in my day job, and on this day work was starting later for some reason, and I was like, oh, this is great, I can trade the open. And I got so prepared. I was trading APHA, and
haven't heard that that name in a while.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's still alive, but
I don't think so.
I was trading APHA, and I got extremely prepared. I traded the open, ended up making a few $100s, and I looked at the clock and I said, oh, I got to go to work. And I don't know what it was. It was the feeling when I was driving to work, and I had just made a few $100, which was a big deal to me at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And there was just this wave of, I don't know, calmness and confidence, and like all the work I was putting in was really finally coming to, paying off, coming to fruition. And I just had this intuition that this was something that I could really sustain as a career, and off that one little trade. But right. it just gave me this feeling of I can do this, and I don't know what it was. It always stuck with me.
That's cool. I really like
it.
That.
Was the happiest I ever was at that job that day.
At that job. But every day we're happy at this job.
Yes, of course.
This non-job. All right. Well, my new signature thing to do with this is end it with this or that. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you a question, this or that, and you have to tell me for the rest of your life, pick one, okay? So for the rest of your life, would you rather trade Tesla or QQQ?
Oof. I would say Tesla, because I need that volatility.
Bitcoin or SPY?
SPY, because of the fees.
Okay.
I'm not paying those fees.
Smart answer. Options or commons?
The commons. I not touched options yet.
Beach or mountains?
Oh, mountains. Mountains all day.
All day, every day.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not trying to be Sandy.
Okay, so this is not a this or that. Long versus short. What are you more naturally? Are you more naturally a bull or a bear?
I would say short. I just like the faster moves.
Yeah, the bottom falls out. Gravity.
Yeah.
Gravity goes away in a short, but there's somehow gravity where longs are pushing up and a short just falls through.
Yeah.
If you could only have one indicator besides price, what would it be? You can only have one.
I would say, so I have price, so that's good.
Yeah.
EMAs, 12 and 20. The EMAs are
only one.
Really. Ooh, only one. I'll just take the 12 then. Give
me the faster signal.
Yeah. Give me the EMA 12. I'll be okay.
Okay, this or that. Chart Guys Joey, Jungle Funk, or Chart Guys Lamont? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, God.
And the next one, Denzi or Lori? I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I can't.
Your face, is she really for real? Thank you so much for sitting down with me. I really appreciate it. I love getting to know you more.
Yeah, absolutely. And I couldn't pick this or that for any moderators or leaders of TCG because you're all awesome and you do a fantastic job.
Oh, the politically correct answer. I'm going to get the real answer offline, okay? I'm kidding.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, well, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, when I figure out how to stop it.